When did your life stop feeling like your own? Because for most people, it happens quietly without warning, without a fight. Most people don't even realize they've drifted so far away from who they were meant to be. They wake up one day, 5 years older, 10 pounds heavier, dreams untouched, purpose ignored, soul exhausted, wondering, how did I get here? Not because they're lazy, not because they didn't care, but because life kept them busy. Life kept them distracted. Life kept them compliant. And over time, they fell asleep at the wheel of their own destiny. If you're listening to this right now, there's a very real possibility that part of you knows you've been living beneath your potential, and it's costing you. It's costing you more than you want to admit. This conversation is for you if you feel any of the following. You're tired, not physically, but spiritually. Mentally worn out. You're overwhelmed, not by tasks, but by expectations. You're afraid, not of failure, but of wasting your time. You look around your life and you think, I thought I'd be further by now. I know I'm meant for more. Something inside of me is telling me something's wrong, but I don't know what to do about it. If that's you, you've come to the right place. See, here's the truth most people never say out loud. The longer you stay the same, the smaller your world becomes. You don't notice it at first. It's subtle. Your dreams shrink. Your ambitions shrink. Your confidence shrinks. Your identity shrinks. Then one day you realize you've built a life around avoiding discomfort, not around pursuing the greatness that you were created for. This is the quiet tragedy of modern life. People stop living long before their bodies do. Let me paint an honest picture. If nothing changes, if you keep waking up the same way, thinking the same thoughts, accepting the same frustrations, what will your life look like in 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? To be honest, what will you lose? Your momentum, your health, your joy, your identity, your potential? The version of you that once believed in yourself and believed that anything was possible? This is where most people break. Not because life gets harder, but because staying the same becomes unbearable. But here's the part your fear doesn't know. You can wake up from this internal mini nightmare. Not tomorrow, not next week, not a year from now, right now. There's a version of you, a powerful, clear, grounded, limitless version of you that your life has been trying to push forward. You haven't lost your potential. You've just lost access to it. And regaining it is not complicated. It's not mystical. It's not reserved for special people. It's a process, a framework, a path. And that path is exactly why EmpowerX exists. But we're going to get to that. Let's talk about the real reason you feel stuck, the part no one ever explained to you. You see, when you were younger, you were programmed, not intentionally, not maliciously, but programmed nonetheless. From childhood, you were trained to fit into systems, not rise above them, trained to follow, not lead, trained to conform and not question, to survive, not thrive, to reduce yourself so others could feel comfortable, to ignore your inner voice so that you could be manageable. You were taught to be a predictable piece in someone else's machine, not the architect of your own life. That programming, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. It's your responsibility now because it's stuck with you. Because until you rewrite it, you are always going to live beneath your calling. You are always going to live subject to that programming that you've been given. Do you want to know the real cost of staying asleep? Do you want to know the real cost of not breaking that program? It's not money. It's not opportunities. It's not time. It's identity. You start losing the you that the world needs, the you that you were created to be, the you that carries your purpose, your gifts, your greatness. Talent fades without use. Purpose dissolves without action, and potential dies without awakening. And when people lose themselves, everything else becomes harder. Relationships, finances, health, spiritual clarity, self-esteem, decision-making, confidence, direction. When you shrink, your entire life shrinks around you. This is the real hidden cost of staying the same. But here's the turning point, and understand that if your life can shrink, it can also expand. If you can be programmed, you can be reprogrammed. If you can fall asleep, you can wake up. And that awakened version of you, it's not a fantasy. It's not something you have to earn. It's not something you have to chase. It's already inside of you, buried beneath layers of fear, noise, conditioning, programming, and expectations. And this series is the beginning of pulling that version of you back into the light. EmpowerX isn't motivation. It's not hype. It's not positive thinking. It's a blueprint. It's a structured system for removing the programming that has kept you small. It's designed to help you rebuild your identity from truth, reconnecting to your core purpose, reclaiming your inner authority, rewiring your everyday habits, and stepping into the life that you were designed for, not the one you settled for. Every episode of this series that we're going to do is going to take you deeper, layer by layer, step by step, truth by truth. By the time we're done, you won't just think differently, you're going to see differently. Let's expose some of this programming that you're dealing with. First, I call the lie you were sold about success. See, you were told work hard, be good, follow the rules, keep your head down, do what you're supposed to do, and life is going to reward you. But here's the truth that no one told you in that process. That formula wasn't designed for your success. It was designed to maintain systems that need compliant, predictable people. People who don't question, people who don't disrupt, and people who won't dare to dream beyond what they've been allowed. When you follow that formula long enough, you don't become successful. You become safe. You become manageable. You become contained. Success requires alignment. It requires intention and boldness, clarity and truth, not compliance. Success is not earned through obedience. It is earned through awakening. And if you feel like life hasn't been rewarding you the way you expected, it's because you've been following a script that was never written for your greatness. Number two, I call the identity trap, and it's why you can't outperform your programming. Let me make something very clear. You cannot outperform the identity that you have accepted for yourself. If you believe that you're average, you're going to behave average. If you believe you're unworthy, you're going to sabotage your opportunities. If you believe that you're powerless, you'll stay in situations that hurt you. Identity dictates behavior. Behavior dictates results, and results reinforce identity. Most people try to change their life by changing their actions, but actions sit on top of beliefs, and beliefs sit on top of identity. If you don't rewrite the identity, the actions are never going to stick. You don't need more motivation. You need a new mental operating system. You need a new internal program, a new internal story, a new internal authority. That is the heart of transformation. That's actually one of the pillars of the EmpowerX program. The third, I call it the comfort cage. It's how fear disguises itself as practicality, because fear rarely shows up as fear. It's smarter than that. Fear shows up wearing masks labeled "be realistic," "don't get your hopes up," Not now, maybe later. That's too risky. What are you thinking? Who are you to try that? Let's play it safe. Fear speaks in logic. Fear sounds responsible. Fear sounds practical, but fear's goal is singular. Keep you where you are. And it's good at it. It knows your patterns. It knows your pressure points. It knows exactly which thoughts to whisper and keep you small. And here's the paradox. Your comfort zone is not comfortable. It's familiar. And familiarity tricks the brain into thinking that it's safe. But it's not safe. It's a cage. It's decorated just enough to make you forget that you're trapped in it. Your greatness cannot survive in confinement. Your purpose cannot flourish inside fear. And your potential cannot bloom in the dark. You must step beyond the comfort cage to reclaim your life. Number 4 is the silent killer. It's emotional numbness and the death of purpose. There's a point that people reach where they don't feel inspired, angry, excited, passionate, curious, or driven. And it's because they're not alive. They're functioning. This is an emotional numbness. It's quiet, it's sneaky, and it's deadly to potential. And a lot of you, as you get older, have started sinking into this, and you're probably recognizing it even as I'm telling you. You wake up and go through the motions. You check the boxes. You do what's required, but nothing lights you up. Nothing moves you. Nothing feels meaningful. You lose that internal spark. And without that spark, nothing in your life ignites. People think burnout is the enemy. Burnout is loud. You can see burnout. You can feel burnout. Numbness is the real danger because you didn't notice it happening. It's the slow erosion of your soul. But here's the secret. Numbness is not absence of purpose. It's the signal that your purpose is being suffocated. It's being killed by the programming that you have allowed yourself to follow. Suffocation is reversible. You just need to reclaim the oxygen of meaning. As we go into the 5th element in this layer, I call it the awakening moment. It's hopefully what you're feeling right now. It's how to tell that you're on the edge of a transformation. There's signs. Listening to this video, as far as you listen to it, that's one of them. Clear signs in your life that the old one, it wants to end and the new one is trying to emerge. You feel restless even when life, normal life, the programmed life that you've accepted is otherwise fine. You feel called to something that you can't quite explain. You're uncomfortable in places that you used to tolerate. You feel misaligned with people who used to fit. You feel that they're phony. You feel that they're not genuine. You're craving depth inside of dissatisfaction. You're questioning things that you once accepted, and you're becoming aware of the cost of staying the same as you are right now. This is not instability. This is evolution. Transformation doesn't start with clarity. It starts with discomfort. When you don't awaken because you're ready, you awaken because the soul refuses to stay asleep any longer. If you're experiencing this, you are not breaking down, you are breaking through. 6 is what people get wrong about having more potential. Everyone says, I know I have more potential, but let's be honest, potential means nothing without access. Most people never reach their potential because they never access the identity, the clarity, the alignment, the discipline or inner truth that is required to unlock that potential. See, potential is like fuel. Purpose is the engine of potential. Alignment is the ignition. Action is the accelerator. And programming is the map for that potential. If any of these malfunction, you stay stuck. You don't lack potential. You lack clarity. You lack direction. You lack alignment. You lack the space to hear your own truth. Potential is the promise, but alignment is the pathway to your potential. We're up to 7, which is the path back to yourself, which is awareness, alignment, and action. This is the process. It's simple, it's powerful, it's universal. So please pay attention. Step 1 is awareness. You cannot change what you refuse to see. You must face your truth without fear, ego, or excuses. This is the first step in EmpowerX for a reason. The second step is alignment. Once you know the truth of who you are, you begin aligning your decisions, your habits, your actions, and your relationships with that truth. Hands down, alignment is the fastest way to change your life because it gets you in touch with who you are. And when you know who you are, you're able to easily figure out who you need to be, who you are supposed to be. Step 3, action. Alignment creates the clarity that you need. Clarity creates the confidence you need. Confidence creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. It's not a forced action. It's not a frantic action. It's an aligned action, the kind that multiplies results and attracts opportunity. And when you are on the right path, when you know your life is where it is supposed to be, everything else just kind of falls into place naturally. It's an amazing thing to experience. It's an amazing thing to witness in other people. Awareness, alignment, action. This is how we rebuild a life from the inside out. Number 8, why most people never break free, but you can. Most people never break free for 3 reasons. They fear the truth more than the consequences of ignoring it. Facing yourself requires courage, but the cost of avoiding yourself is oftentimes much higher. They value acceptance over authenticity. They shrink to fit into environments that were never meant to hold their greatness, the greatness that they were created for. Lastly, they underestimate their own power, not because they're weak, but because the world benefits when they stay unaware. The world benefits when they stay small. You're here. You're listening to me. You're hopefully waking up. Your awareness is rising. The moment you become conscious of your programming, you become powerful enough to rewrite it. Most people never reach that moment, but you're standing in it right now. As we head into number 9, the role of truth. Why facing yourself is step 1. Transformation begins with truth, not comfort. Truth is uncomfortable. Truth disrupts. Truth tears down the illusion. Truth demands accountability. Truth requires to see yourself without all of the filters. But truth is also freeing. It liberates you from the lies that you've allowed to shape your life. It reconnects you to the core of who you were designed to be. That is why truth is the foundation of EmpowerX. Not to expose your flaws, but to reveal your power. You cannot build a new life on top of an old identity. You cannot rise while you're hiding. You can't transform while you're pretending. Truth is step 1 because truth is where the real you is. It's where the real you begins. That brings us to the last point. How EmpowerX helps rebuild you from the inside out. See, I built EmpowerX on a very simple principle. If you rebuild the person, you rebuild the life. It reverses the pattern the world taught you. Instead of starting with external goals, we start with internal truth. Instead of fixing symptoms, we rewire the root. Instead of motivation, we build identity alignment. Instead of chasing success, we awaken power. When your identity shifts, your entire life structure shifts with it. EmpowerX shows you how to do that. It shows you how to reclaim your inner voice, heal the internal conflict, remove limiting programming, reconnect with purpose, rewrite your story, build alignable habits, strengthen emotional resilience, return to your authentic design, and walk in the greatness you were created for. It's not self-help, it's self-reconstruction. And look at it this way. This is a reset on your life. We're not going to teach you how to set more goals that align with the programming that you've already been given. We're going to teach you to take that programming that you've been given. You're going to teach yourself, actually, because you're going to read the book. Take that programming that you've been giving and just tear it up and throw it away, and understand that you can program yourself however you want. But in the process of tearing down that program, you're going to search and find who you are as an authentic person, the real you, the core of who you are. And in rebuilding your program, you're going to be true to that authenticity. You're going to be true to that purpose. You're going to be true to the greatness that you were created for. Before we wrap up today, I want you to understand something important. This series is not entertainment. It is transformation. This is the start of reclaiming the life you were created for. Today we woke you up, hopefully. In episode 2, we're going to go deeper. We're going to expose the exact lie you've been living under. The lie that stole your potential and convinced you to settle. And once you see it clearly, you can never go back to sleep again. I'll see you in the next episode, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.